grade. I wanted to touch base with you about your analysis from yesterday. I did grade them all if you submitted it, and you might be thinking to yourself, Miss Riggs, why did I get a 3? And so the main problem with what you guys submitted yesterday is a lot of you are stuck in summary and not analysis. So I want to go over with you really quick the difference between summary and analysis. So if you look at my screen, summary tells us what happens in the chapter as a matter of fact. This includes events in sequential order, and it may even be supported by evidence. So this is where you guys are. Okay, you're really great at coming up with this summary information, like you've read the chapter and you understand the chapter. What I'm asking you to do is go a little bit further in your thinking. So analysis focuses on the why or the how of those summary events. So taking your thinking farther and coming to conclusions about what happened in the novel. And so there's a couple ways to do this. And so I'm going to provide you with all of these sentence starters and an example today as you work through chapter 13 and then tomorrow through chapter 14. So there are 3 different levels of analysis. There's analysis, which is level 4, where you identify motives, causes, inferences, and you connect them using evidence. Level 5 is called synthesis, where you combine your ideas as you solve problems, you make predictions. And level 6 is called evaluate, where you present your own opinions and judge the quality of the writing. So we're not quite to level 6 yet, because this is going to be like about tone and mood and some other specific literary techniques and what Harper Lee is trying to do. But I do want you to kind of focus on level 4, which is analysis, and level 5, which is synthesis. So all of these sentence starters are going to take your writing to the next level, from summary to analysis. And I would encourage you to use these as needed. You don't always have to. You'll see in my example that I didn't because I just write. So I do want to show you the example. So yesterday you read chapter 12, which was about Cal taking Jem and Scout to her church, which is an all-black church. And so the fact or the summary information from that chapter was in chapter 12, Jem and Scout experience racism as white children for the first time. Because remember, your prompt was about how racism and prejudice are present in the chapter. So some of you used your Google fingers and you went like way far beyond chapter 12. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I wanted you to stick in chapter 12. So in chapter 12, we have this evidence, right? Lula stopped, but she said, "You ain't got no business bringing white children here." And I agreed. They didn't want us here. So that evidence tells me that Scout is feeling some type of way. And I'm going to use that evidence to support my analysis, which comes next. The other thing I need you guys to practice is putting these internal citations here after your evidence. So some of you are using a PDF, some of you are using a book. I need to know where you're getting that information from and what page you're on. So if you could practice putting in page numbers, that would be awesome. So when we get to the analysis part, we're going to talk about how or why this represents racism or prejudice, because remember, that's what was in the prompt. So I want to connect my analysis to prejudice and racism. I can do that by talking about how Scout feels, how she perceives the situation to be. I can make historical connections. I can reflect on like my own experiences if that would be applicable to this situation. So you can see that I've written maybe 3 or 4 sentences here. This shows that blacks in Macomb feel equally hateful towards the whites as the whites to the blacks. This was a time of racial segregation, and for Cal to bring Jem and Scout to her church was a violation of the Jim Crow laws. See how we made a historical connection there? For the first time in her life, Scout understood what it felt like to be in the minority and to feel unwanted. She was scared and unsure. This also shows that prejudice exists on both sides of the color line. And that's it. That's your analysis, right? And then you would go into a second example if you had one. So these are supposed to be 1 to 2 paragraphs. However much you think that you need. So today in chapter 13, you're looking at Aunt Alexandra, and you're going to try and characterize her and how she treats people and how her personality is kind of opposite of what Scout and Jem are used to with Atticus. She is really overbearing. She's very traditional. She has her own way of thinking about how people should act and how things should happen. So I would encourage you to move from summary to analysis, especially if you want to move up your grade as you continue forward. Again, I'm going to post this entire document. It's called Sentence Starters for Analysis. I'll post that along with this video so that way you have it. If you have questions, I will be available actually right now from 9 to 10 on Google Meet for you guys. And you can always email me or touch base with me later on. I hope you are all staying safe and healthy and you are enjoying your time at home. I will talk to you soon.